I just tell everybody, after you've done this for a while, it's not rocket science. It's just something that requires a lot of practice, and it works so well.
Yeah, I think the key that you just said there is that it requires a lot of practice. There are a lot of mistakes that we see happening when you take that StoryBrand framework and you try to put that message on a website. Tell me, like, biggest mistakes that you find people making when they try to transition from StoryBrand message to website.
Such a good question. And there's so many things. In fact, I just want to start by saying sometimes it's really, really hard to do your own message. And I know you could say this too, right? Like,
Yes.
it seems like about once a year, I need to get on the phone with another guide and say, help me walk through my own message. Like, when we're in the weeds, it's hard to see, the rest of the big picture. So that's completely normal. And then I think the other, like, the space that I kind of want to go is to say that not only is it hard to make your own message because you're in the weeds, but it's hard because we're trained to be academic thinkers, right? Like, most of us have bachelor's degrees, some have masters, some even have PhDs. So we're taught to think in complex terms. And StoryBrand really goes the opposite direction and kind of leans into that space that clear is always better than clever. We don't need to be smart. We need to be clear. It needs to be simple. And that's, of course, the biggest mistake that people make is they overcomplicate it. They add too many things to it. And the results of StoryBrand kind of rest on this core principle that it needs to be one idea. And that's really hard for people to get to. I mean, I think the way that StoryBrand, Don Miller specifically says it, is you can do all those things. You can only talk about one at a time. And you think about it, the things that market to you, if a shoe company is saying, we have shoes, but we also have purses and scarves and socks, and don't forget to get all of your arch support stuff here and all of that thing, you quickly forget that they're actually just a shoe company. And you start to get confused about, well, I don't know how to describe them. I don't know what to do. So the first thing you really have to do is get clear with yourself about, how do I want to be known? What's the thing I want to be known for? And how do I want people to talk about it? And then it's repeat, and one thing at a time. You can have the save the whales and feed the starving pastors and whatever you want to do, but create separate platforms for them, create separate spaces to talk